And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Andrew Boylston, who had a near-death experience and discovered all the answers on the other side. Andrew, thanks for joining me and welcome.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm really excited to be here, and I appreciate you having me on. And I've been listening to you for years, and I love this, so I appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much, and we appreciate you being willing to come here and share. And on that note, let's start on the day that your NDE happened and go from there.
Beautiful. Okay. So this was in 2016. My wife had just died, and she died October 3rd, 2016, and it was an accidental overdose. We both struggled with substance abuse at that time, and Beth was like the love of my life, and we had a 2.5-year-old son, and he's 10 now, he'll be 11 July. So I after that, a wedding anniversary was December 27th, and December 28th, one of our best friends, Jack, who was like a little brother to me, to both of us, died right next to me. He was 27 years old. And I literally, so I thought I died and gone to hell. I literally was like in the hospital screaming about I've died and gone to hell. So I had to do something about it to get to the next part of hell because I lost my mind. I overdosed at the Five Points train station, fell off the platform, busted my head open on the tracks, and they got me up. I was not breathing. I turned black. I had no pulse. And then I guess they shot me with a bunch of drugs and saved me from dying. But where I went was the most immediate thing. And I was just instantly in a place where people describe it as a void. And it was all black, just an expanse of black but I had a body. Like I didn't see it, but I had a body, just the same presence as it is here, except I immediately was like, wow, there's no pain. And all these thoughts are going through my head. And anytime I'm trying to reason about something or work something out or understand something, immediately the understanding and the information was just there. And this black, though, the void was made of light. I don't know how else it was made of light. And so it was like, and it had like substance to it. It was like, could describe it as like maybe plasma. But it was like, no matter what, every fiber of my being was secure and safe. And the clarity I felt, it's like where the Bible says the peace that surpasses all understanding, that's where everybody goes. And I was like, oh, I'm not, and all these thoughts are just happening. And immediately, anytime, it's just the answer comes to me and everything makes sense. I'm like, how did I just kill myself? Shouldn't I be going to hell? Because, but it was in bed, and it was like, no, everybody, I don't care how evil they are, when we leave here, we find peace. We all get to go there. And I don't know what happens afterward, maybe, but I know, and I knew that everything is supposed to happen the way it happens. There's absolutely no fear, and that this is just like a blink of an eye, this life here. And we've all been here, and this is all the information that is just being like, I just understand it and know it immediately. And I could have been there for 5 minutes. I could have been there for a million lifetimes. Time is absolutely conceptual. That's it. It's abstract. It's conceptual. There is no time. Is not relevant in this place. And I knew that too. And that all of this is like, and also everything's going to be okay. Everybody's going to be okay. There's nothing to fear. And there was no pain, absolutely no pain. No, and I had thoughts of confusion because I can't even say I felt confused. I was just thoughts of confusion, like, shouldn't I, aren't I dead? Like, what, shouldn't this be like something? And, just immediately I just felt so secure and understood everything. And everything, all the lights, every color you can imagine was part of that black and the void. And it all had texture and substance and life and information and love and consciousness. And it was just enveloping. It was the best. Talk about feeling rest. It was phenomenal. And then I remember coming back into my body. My first thought was, wow, this is where it hurts. This is where the pain is. And I started feeling the heaviness again of the weight of this 3D world we live in. And then I said, man, I wish I was still dead. And then a voice said to me, no, but you've got to be here for Bryce. And I ended up, I ended up getting in contact with one of your guests who described himself as a walk-in, and he was a lovely man. And because he said he would do readings, and so I did on Facebook chat with him and a video chat, and he did a reading and did tarot cards and all this stuff. And he's like, yes, that was Beth who told you that. And she, has ascended. She came here. She's your guardian angel. She is your soulmate. She's always with you. And you know that she's still here, and you've got to be here for your son. And so and it was just, this guy was just doing it out of the kindness of his heart because he wants to share uh, the wisdom he has. And so I really like, this is one of the best things that ever happened to me because I was always scared, if I'm going to go to hell or whatever, am I going to make it? And now I just know that such relief. Like, I definitely don't have to worry about that anymore. And so I was very depressed since I was a child. And so I kind of obsessed about not being here, not being alive. And that after having that experience, I'm so happy to be living. And I wish I could have brought all that back here, but it's not possible. Like the information, the knowing, and the connection with just complete like peace and like a master plan. And but I get having that experience, I get to remind myself that it's always going to be good no matter what. When we leave here, it's good because there is no death. We don't stop. We just don't stop.
Andrew, would you say the black void has a velvety texture to it?
You know what? Yes, as a matter of fact. And it's like, but it's not liquid, but it's like the most comfortable, secure. Like, if you can imagine, like, okay, I'm sitting on this chair, so the chair is supporting my rear end right now to sit up, and my feet are on the floor, having, and I know I'm secure, I'm stable because of that. Grounded. You're grounded. Every molecule in your body is grounded by this, and there's like safety because there is no possible harm that could come to you there.
Even though it was dark, you seemed to say or felt that there was still energy there. Would you think that perhaps
Mhm.
in that realm is what scientists may call dark matter?
You know what? Absolutely. I've also I love reading, and so I read quite a few books about mathematics and physics and metaphysical stuff, mystery school religion things, and yeah, it's definitely, I think that dark matter, that's exactly what it is. It's like it's just it's light there. Like the light, if you want to call it just normal matter here, is what this life is. And it's 100% possible, I think, that that's where dark matter is, and that's where a place where all of our consciousness can be simultaneously too, because there's no limit to anything. My sort of like thought about these things is, if anything is possible, anything is possible. Like, to me, there are no limits to what is possible. I'm not God. I'm not the creator of the universe. So there's no logical reason to put limits on creation and existence. I don't see why anybody should think there's limits. So I think that all of this, everything has consciousness, and that could be part of it.
When you were there, did it feel familiar, like you've been there many times?
It's home. That's home. That's why we suffer here, because we're homesick. That's why we're sad and angry and lonely, and sometimes we feel desperate and abandoned. That is because we're homesick. We're definitely here to do what we're doing, and but we're homesick. And I believe that in my lifetime, in this generation, is going to see everybody in the entire world change in a way that this world is not going to exist like it does now. Something is going to, had some prophetic dreams after this as well. I saw lights, the same lights that I saw in the void, all the different colors that had smell, taste, consciousness, energy, everything in it. And I had a dream where everybody was outside and they're just terrified because the sky is filled with all this about to rain down and come down. And I was like telling everybody, I was like, don't be afraid. It doesn't hurt. Like, dying is not painful. Like, people are scared to die and think it's gonna be painful. There's no pain. We don't have pain. We don't suffer with it. And I'm just like, I'm happy that I got to experience that and see that. And I know that even if people don't understand or they're scared now, there's absolutely nothing to fear, because we're all going to be going home or connected with home again. And that, so yes, I think that we all come from there. And I think we're also there at the same time. So like quantum entanglement. Um, yeah, so to me, it's like anything's possible. If we can imagine it, it's definitely possible.
Why do you think we even come here?
That's a good question. And I'm not sure. I really, I don't know if everybody comes from the exact same place, because I do believe that there are people here that maybe don't have souls, or maybe they're a different kind of soul. Maybe they're not completely or exclusively human. And I think that many of us, the majority of us here, whether we know it or not, are here to help those people to come to our home, so to speak, to like learn about love and connection with others. So I wish I knew the answer to that question, but I know it's definitely, we're here to help others who are hurting or may feel inadequate, to help them rise above something. The whole world, the whole world is going to change. Something's going to happen, and we're the ones that are going to be here to be strong and be like, no, we're going to make it through this. And I think that whether people know it or not, I think a lot of people are here for that reason.
Well, how did your life change afterwards due to the NDE?
It was like a reset. I hear other people talking about things like that. Like, it's like a factory reset. Like, I came back, and even I was, even though I was still really sad, like very, very sad, and was felt like I was losing my mind, and just was because every night too, for like a solid year, I would dream of watching my wife die over and over again, all these different ways, and or that she was really alive, but like people were hiding her from me, and it just no matter what, like I would just it was like being tormented in the dream world, and yeah, it was I but I and like I also it gave me like this peace that I never knew I could feel so free, because now I actually feel free. It was like living my entire life before that was like being imprisoned in fear. Like just no matter what my life, I'm just in. How can I survive all this fear, sadness, all despair, and this changed that because I no longer had a doubt if this is meant to be or not. Like I was like, gosh, is this what's God's will, or what am I supposed to be doing here? Anything like, and but when I was there, I understood immediately that yes, all this is supposed to happen, and yes, all of it is good, and it's all supposed to happen, and there's no reason to fear anything because we just continue to go on, and this is just part of whatever our soul is doing.
After your NDE, did you notice that you had any new abilities?
um, I tell you what, I completely lost my fear of singing and playing guitar in front of people to where I don't know, like opened up some. And I'm a singer mostly. I mean, I play guitar, but singing is really where like the passion I feel for music. It to me, music is absolutely the thing in this world that is our connection, is a direct, like we're getting spoon fed the God. We're getting spoon fed the Holy Spirit, whatever you call it. When I sing, and I like to sing a lot of blues and soul music, and I grew up in a Pentecostal church too, so I love gospel, and so yeah, my singing took on like a whole new life to itself, and it's like a really deep connection where there used to be fear, and yeah, fear with it about it. Now it's just like when I sing like that, it feels like part of me is back home. And when I hear others play or play with other people are saying, to me, I can feel that connection to home where I went and where we go. It's like I look and see the line from heaven coming down with music.
Would you say that sometimes when you're singing, it becomes a spiritual experience and it's almost like you become the
Oh
music?
yes, like absolutely. I it, it does. It's like to the core of me. Like when I sing, it's like the core of me. You could imagine like it is in it's part of me, and I'm helping the music express itself because music is absolutely intelligent and is a spirit and a consciousness, and it's a force. It's a it's truly a force, and we're definitely channels for it, and it feels so good. It feels so good.
So when you first got there, everything was completely black, right?
Hmm.
But then you started
Yep.
seeing colors or something. Can you explain
Hmm.
that for me?
Well, is what happened is when I was there, it was completely black. Then I was like, where, kind of like, and all this is just happening, like the thoughts and internal is just happening instantaneously. And like, oh man, why is it all dark here? Where is this? Is there anything? There's nothing around me. Where am I? What's going on? Like, why isn't there anything? Where this is nothing, just sort of like, and then I see, oh wait, this black is actually made of light, the whitest light you've ever seen, and that's what it's made of. And then, well, I don't see anything else. And then, oh, okay, guess what? Every single color you could ever imagine. And every shade becomes part of it like blossoms out of the black. And I can smell it, I can taste it, I can feel it, I can talk to it, like, and just any color you can't even, it's like the most incredible colors and light. And I don't know how to tell you how it's like you experience it on a very visceral, physical, it feels physical. It feels very physical. And just like my body felt physical, even though I didn't see anything, it felt visible, but physical. But when I wanted to know, that's what it just immediately showed itself to me, presented itself to me. And it was just like, I'm like, this is like, are you kidding me? I just think about something and then immediately I know everything and it all just makes sense. Like, so yeah, it was lovely too. It was very lovely. And I don't know what a color would say, but it was definitely saying something,
So while you were in the black void, if you would have thought about being on a beach or something, do you think you would immediately transport yourself to a beach?
And yes. And that's why when I say like, I could have been there for 5 minutes or I could have been there for a million lifetimes, like literally anything I wanted to experience, know, see, feel was just immediately given to me. And it's sort of like I had an experience where a dog communicate, and this is in real life, and this is also after the NDE. I became much less worried after dying, and then I feel way more connected with everybody and everything. Everything's around me seems much more sacred. And I don't know how to explain it, but the dog, I was like, why don't you just talk? Like, I know y'all can talk. I see you're smart. And it just basically or literally communicated me telepathically, or just put the information like, yeah, we don't talk. This is how we communicate. We don't need to talk. We just, that was like a telepath. It was like, I didn't hear words. It was more like, I am communicating this to you and now you understand it. So it was like things like that where I'm like, oh, that's how animals are too. Like when you think about it and it's just, yeah, I don't know. Some of that stuff still kind of blows my mind. And I know the dog communicated it to me. Yeah, we don't talk. This is how we communicate. We just know, we understand, we're telepathic. So it wasn't words, but it's like that idea or concept or was communicated to me. And that in the void, absolutely anything I want to think of, anybody I want to see, but all that happens fast. And then when I was coming back into my body, it was like I had to leave all of that there. They're like, you can't have it here. Like it's too pure and it's too much. This this physical realm can't support. It needs to update its software.
The brain CPU, I guess, is too small.
Right.
If you had a friend that was suffering over the loss of a loved one, what type of advice would you give?
I would absolutely, and this has come up, and with people, with strangers too. That's uh, who I am and who I've always been. Is I will. It's very likely that I'm going to connect to most people anywhere, any situation, any sort of dynamic. Uh, I'm really interested and really enjoy connecting with people on many levels and communicating with. And I've had people talk about losing a loved one, and I know that where we go, everything is absolutely good. Like it doesn't matter. There is no hell. Nobody gets condemned. Like if there's hell, you got to put yourself there. But there's no God banging a gavel saying I'm sending you to hell. That everybody gets to have peace, and I know that, and I know that they're always with us, and that's sort of what love is that they never because our spirit knows that they're not really gone. I think that's part of mourning when you're really sad and miss the person. You're like, it's because you're deep down, you know that they're not gone. And we will get to see them, and it will not. This will be like a blip, like a dream. Like I took a 5 minute nap. This life is like taking a 5 minute cat nap. And then when you get there, you realize you're like, what? That was okay. That's done. Like check off my list. That took 5 seconds to process that entire life. And I know that everybody gets to go home, and that's what I would try to reassure them and tell them. They're going home, and one day you'll be home too. And feeling sad and missing them is 100% always going to be there. But with time, it does become less sorrowful and painful. The universe is going to find a way to show us how valuable we are, and we'll get to connect with happiness again, because that feels like it's not possible. It felt impossible to be happy, and it does come back though.
Besides the NDE, have you had any other paranormal experiences?
Yes, many actually. The first one I remember is being waking up from a nap in my stroller with my mom and my grandmother in a house in Massachusetts, where the only time I was in this house was when I was less than 2 years old. And and my mom still remembers me telling her this when I was a toddler. When I was very young, I told her about this, and this is something a memory I've never forgotten. And I woke up from a nap in this house and had a thought word for word, like an adult version of myself was talking to me. I said, "Have I been asleep for 30 years, or is this really my life?" And I was genuinely confused. Like, how am I here? This is my life? Like, how is this possible? Like, and that's it. I don't know anything else, or just that memory, which, to me, it's reassuring because I think that it's just proof that we're so much more, and life is so much more expansive than maybe this place wants to give it credit for. One of my best friends, Katrina, she's like an incredible empath, and but we were sitting outside, and one of our friends was in the house and had just had a seizure, and we went out front, and she has a fire pit in the front, and we had a fire going earlier, but the fire had been out for like a couple of hours, and we were sitting down each beside each other on these two chairs, and the fire pit's right there, and it was kind of getting a little chilly out, and I was sitting there thinking, I had this thought in my head, man, I wish that fire was gone so it could warm Katrina up. And she this fire just like starts roaring up from the fire pit, and just like comes out of nothing, and then it's like a roaring like full campfire. Like if you looked up campfire on YouTube or something, that's like, are you kidding me? We both saw this, like it came out of like nothing. Had been out for hours, and it just roared up. Like, did someone just turn on a propane tank? Like, what the heck just happened? And I was with her one time. She was playing. We were playing in front of a wine shop, playing music in front of a wine shop, and she was getting frustrated with something, and a wine glass exploded. Everybody saw it, like a wine glass. Nobody touched it. It didn't fall over anything, and it just like exploded, like like dematerialized, like vaporized or something. It was so yeah. I kind of noticed those kind of things happen around me and some of my friends.
Those happened after your NDE, right?
Yes, yes. There,
Wow.
there's been much more that I've seen that is not traditionally explainable, I guess. It's just sort of paranormal, like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Before we started this interview, you told me that you are a guitar luthier. Do you
Yeah.
sell your guitars online or anything like that?
No, I used to, and I haven't done much of it lately, but I do like to put a lot of friends. So like most of my friends are musicians. That's just how it worked out. And, or I'll meet somebody, like I said, I'm literally like, I will go, you drop me anywhere and I'm going to find a friend. It's just who I am. Like I love people. I love connecting with people. And so stuff like that happens. I'll meet somebody and they'll talk about a guitar and how they've been wanting to play guitar again for a while, but it needs some work done on it. And I'll fix it up and get them all excited. And I love just seeing the joy that it brings out of people when they like connect with an instrument again. So it's sort of been like that. I've got a day job, so to speak, for sure. And but yeah, I definitely love taking on, especially acoustic instruments. And I worked at like a banjo place that was called Banjo Warehouse. The owner passed away, but he's a bluegrass legend. And I worked on these like $100,000 banjos, $20,000. It was just wall to wall, like probably $1 million worth of instruments in there. And so I love it. I love working on the instruments, but I could go on and on about that.
Well, after watching this podcast, people may want to, reach out and connect with you. Are you open to that?
Yeah, I'm open to that. I'm not really much of, uh, I don't stay on social media much. I don't really check it too much, or I don't really do too much texting or phone calls. But I am open to communicating if they want to like message me on Facebook and just for anything. Like I said, I do love connecting with people. I don't have any like services, I can't give you a psychic reading or anything like that, but I do love connecting with people. I'd be happy to share any other information from my experience.
Before we finish up, can you leave us with a last positive message?
This is one of my favorite scriptures. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but one of power and of love and of a sound mind. I really, everybody here, like, there is no reason to fear. It's just the way it is. Like, whether you like it or not, we all get to be okay. And in the best way possible, like the peace, no problems. So yeah, just please remember we do get to go home. I know you're homesick. We're all homesick, but we are going to get back home.
Andrew, thank you for your message, and thank you for being my guest.
Jeff, thank you so much. I'm so happy to do this. It's so good to see you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and I appreciate you. Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.